Right, guys. Okay, so this is assignment 3. So this is the question. Yes, should voting be compulsory? 500 words plus or minus 10%. Okay, so minimum 450, maximum 550. Yeah, and we've got some various information here that we looked at in class. This is very nice. Yeah, so compulsory voting in a lot of these countries. Right, so we've got a lot of information, and here sanctions. Okay, so any punishments or fines. Yeah, so a monetary fine, possible imprisonment. Yeah. Right. Okay, so that's the task. This is my essay. Okay, now don't forget your name, student ID, course code, and my name all need to go here. Right, so let me make this a bit bigger. Okay, so here we go. So nice simple title, yes? The arguments for and against making voting compulsory. Nice and simple. We've got the genre here, and we've got the topic. Yeah? There's nothing special here, but it's exactly what's needed. Yeah? The arguments for and against making voting compulsory. The genre here, the topic here. Okay? Your title needs to have both. Yeah? Right, then if we just look at my essay as a whole, I haven't done the reference list. I didn't have time. So we've got an introductory paragraph, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, body paragraph 4, and a conclusion. Yeah, and each paragraph is approximately the same size. Yeah, this one's a bit bigger. Yeah, but other than that, they're approximately the same size. How many words in total? 580 words. Okay, so the word count is actually quite good, yeah? Now, so voting is a mechanism for making collective decisions. Okay, so that's a nice definition. It introduces the topic, gives a bit of a definition. It's intended to be a means for ensuring that a majority preference of a candidate or policy is reflected in the ultimate decision. Wow, okay, so it's a bit heavy, it's a bit deep. The grammar's a bit difficult, but okay, just an extended definition. Yeah. So we can call this the definition. Yeah. In some countries, you must vote. Okay. Okay. So here we've got a little bit of background information. We've got our first in-text citation. Yeah. In some countries, like a lot of those in South America. So where's it gone? So here, yeah, so like a lot of those in South America, voting is compulsory, i.e., so i.e. means in other words. Yeah, in other words, you must vote, and it is illegal not to. In other countries, there is no such rule, and it's up to the individual to decide. Okay, so a bit of background information. We've got our first in-text citation. Nice enough. This essay will discuss the arguments for and against making voting compulsory. That's my thesis. Yeah, that's my thesis. Okay, so I've got 3 parts to this introduction. Yeah, I've got a definition, bit of background information with a citation, and I've got my thesis statement. Now, the main argument for making voting compulsory. Okay, so super signposting. The second argument for making, yeah, again, very clear signposting. The third argument I want to focus on is that, and here, the main argument that people present against making voting compulsory, and to conclude. Okay, so the signposting, guys, really is useful. Yeah, as a reader, it's really clear. It's really helpful to see what's being presented. Okay, so what is the first argument for making voting compulsory? All right, so you will see here So I've got 3 arguments in support of making voting compulsory. I've got 1 argument against making voting compulsory. So I don't have, where am I? I don't have 2 and 2. I have 3 and 1. 3 arguments supporting and 1 argument against, because that's my personal opinion. Yeah, I think voting should be compulsory. Yeah, so I've taken a view of 3 arguments supporting making voting compulsory and 1 argument against. Okay, if you think voting shouldn't be compulsory, maybe you will have the opposite paragraph structure, or maybe you'll have something a bit more even. Yeah, we can't have 4 and nothing. Yeah, 4 arguments against or 4 arguments for and nothing. It's a for and against argument, so we do need at least 1 body paragraph giving the other view that you support. Yeah? So the main argument is that the policies a government chooses to enact better represent the population. Traditionally, it's the older generation who vote, and due to this, a lot of the policies that governments propose are aimed at benefiting this subset of the population. They vote, therefore the politicians are more interested in keeping them happy. Yeah? When everyone has to vote, governments have to propose policies that benefit everyone. Okay, and this is Wren's idea. This is what happened when Australia introduced compulsory voting, yeah, according to VATAN. Yeah? So when everyone has to vote, the government can't just say, you know, all you old people will give you bus passes, we'll give you medical care, and we can forget about everyone else because they don't bother voting. Yeah, when everyone votes, the policies need to be more evenly spread. So that's my first main argument. Second argument is about education. By forcing people to vote, people pay more attention to politics, policies, and to what politicians do. Okay, this is Fencer's idea. In short, the voters are better educated about politics in their country. They read more newspapers, talk to friends about it more, and pay more attention to it when it's on the news. As a result of this, newspapers devote more space to politics. TV news stations cover politics and policy in more detail. This can only be good for the democracy of a country, but it's also easy to understand why governments themselves don't want to introduce such a measure. Yeah? So when voting is compulsory, we have to learn. You can't just sit back and say, actually, you know, I don't know, it's a bit too complicated for me. The onus is on the individual to try to understand better. Yeah? And this last point is important. Yeah? Not all governments want compulsory voting, because they're quite happy appealing to this subset that do vote, keeping them happy, and then being able to do lots of other shady stuff on the side. Yeah? So a lot of governments don't have very little interest in making voting compulsory. The third argument I want to focus on is that the decisions the government ultimately makes are more legitimate. Yeah? Let me explain. So for example, in my country, in the UK, about 5 years ago, we had a vote on whether or not to leave the European Union. 34% of the population voted to leave, 33% voted to stay, and about 33% did not vote. As a result of this vote, the government, who wanted to leave the EU, saw a very slim majority chose to leave, and this is the vision that they enacted. Because it was 34 against 33, they said, 34 wins, let's get out. Yeah? And that's what happened. That's why we left. Because 34% voted, 33% said no. Well, that's 1% difference. Therefore, we leave. But look here, 33% of the population didn't vote. A third of the country. On such an important issue, a third of the country didn't vote. Yeah? 34% did. They chose to leave. 33% wanted to stay. 33 again didn't vote. Yeah? And if we add this up, we get to approximately 100%. Yeah? So on the 1st of January this year, the whole country left the EU despite the fact that only 34% of the population voted for it. Many people view this decision to leave as illegitimate. Okay, it's not a legitimate decision. You can't take a country out of the EU when only 34% of the country have said, yes, that's what we want. Yeah? And here, with compulsory voting, the vote would have clearly been to stay in the EU. I believe it would. Yeah, I believe it would. So when voting is compulsory, the result is legitimate. It's a valid result because everybody has had to put a tick in one of those two boxes. The main argument, I was struggling here. I was really struggling to think of a reason why voting shouldn't be compulsory. I was really struggling with this, so this body paragraph is quite short. The main argument that people present against making voting compulsory is that forcing people to vote is anti-democratic. A democracy is when the government is ruled by the people, and because of this, people argue that they have the right to choose not to vote. Keska states that people should be inspired to vote, not because they have to, but because they want to. Okay, so this is a bit of an underdeveloped argument. I couldn't really think of a strong argument why voting shouldn't be compulsory. I strongly believe voting should be compulsory. Yeah. So I looked at, where's it gone? I looked at this information. I looked at this, and I wasn't very convinced about any of it. Yeah. So there is this idea here. They have to inspire us to vote. Well, yeah. So this paragraph is a little short. Maybe it's a little underdeveloped. Yeah, maybe one more sentence. But to conclude, making voting compulsory is a vexed issue. Okay, so a complicated issue, and it's easy to see why governments are not keen on to mandate compulsory voting. But history shows us that countries that have enacted this are more equal and better represent the people. Okay, for example, in Australia. Yeah. Personally, I believe that voting should be compulsory and that people should be fined for not voting. In today's modern age, with the technology we have, there is every opportunity to make voting from your phone as easy as ordering a pizza. Yeah. And then my reference list would be in order of surname. Okay, so what would be first? So this would be first. This would be second. What would be third? This would be third. Yeah. W, V, and then W. Yeah. Okay, so I haven't got a reference list, but that's not going to be too difficult. But it's important that it's ordered alphabetically by surname. Yeah. Okay, so that's my example. I hope this is useful to you when you come to write your essay. Okay, guys, bye for now. Right, thank you for these submissions. Okay, I've got how many submissions? About 10 submissions. Okay, so let's get going. I've had a quick look at some of them, but let's have a look together. Right, okay. A debate about compulsory voting should be or not. A debate. The arguments for and against compulsory voting. Please, no fireworks, nothing special. A debate about compulsory voting should be. Should be what? Should be what? Yeah? Please, nothing special. The arguments for and against compulsory voting. Simple, simple, simple. This does not make sense. Voting is a way of choosing somebody or something in an election. Okay. Are directly using this system, using what system? Okay, where's our 199 countries are using this system. Okay, all right, so the system of voting, okay. In these countries, okay, your computer's trying to help you, yeah? You see this blue underline, your computer is trying to help you. It has been a very popular, long-standing argument. Sorry, what? What has? In these countries, which countries? In these countries, which countries has voting system has been? Don't understand. In these countries, which countries has or have countries have voting system has been what's been very popular? What? It's about what? What is it? It's about citizens must be voter. Oof. Citizens must be voter, or if they want to voting, they can. That obligation is called compulsory voting. Really? Why is this in capitals? And if this is a quote, where did it come from? This article will be about compulsory voting arguments. Oh dear, wow. There's a lot to fix here. There really is a lot to fix here. This sentence, I have no clue what you're trying to get at here. Yeah, it's not the best start. Okay, the title is problematic. The whole introduction is problematic. Yeah, that's a nice sentence. After that, there's not a great deal to like. Yeah. Okay. These two sentences. Yeah. It's about citizens must be voter. Citizens must be voter, or if they want to voting, they can. That obligation. What obligation? Yeah. There's the big problems there. Big problems. This argument will be about compulsory voting arguments. Where's my essay? This essay will discuss the arguments for and against making voting compulsory. Okay, you can steal that. Please steal it. And steal the title as well. The arguments for and against making voting compulsory. Okay, nice and simple. To voting, what's this to voting? Where do we use to plus verb ing? We don't use it very often. To vote. And the result. Any effect. An effect on the country's future. Country's future, possessive. All citizens must be protect. Must protect. Boom. States. Okay, boom states. 2017 here. We've done this a lot in class. Then we don't need this. Boom states that voting is a civic duty like taxation. Okay, so he is underling. He's underling? What's underling? I don't understand the word underling. Underling? Define underling. What's an underling? A person lower in status or rank. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Another argument about forcing people to voting. Please, to vote, yeah? Is it compulsory voting is give? Oof. Gives. Ren argues. Okay, well, when? When does he argue this? Okay, then we don't need this. when countries, they have analysed or were analysed. Okay, okay. I understand your argument. Just the grammar is really quite problematic. The main argument on against? The main argument on against? The main argument against to compulsory voting? There is now way. What's a now way? Now way? No way? There's no way to force to someone. What? There's no way to force someone to vote or do anything. This is one of the principal basics of democracy. Oh man. The opinion of Keska is that democracies are not include, okay, do not include the forcing and politician threats. Democracies do not include the forcing and threats with fines or other sanctions. Yes, they do. If I drive too quickly, I can be fined. If I steal something, I can be fined. I don't understand this argument. There are lots of occasions in a democratic society where you can be fined or have other sanctions. That's why we have prisons. So I don't quite understand that idea. Another argument. Another argument against compulsory voting is that when citizens are forced to voting, why to voting? If peoples are heavily wounding, heavily damaging, please, yeah, heavily damaging. Each side tries to have much more democracy and human rights. Only way to find an ideal voting system is come from analysing. Should be compulsory, but much more aware systems about their country. Much more aware system. Okay, so this is a new idea, yeah, and I don't like that in the conclusion. In addition, some finer what? Adjective, noun. We've got an adjective, we've not got a noun. Okay, so why is this first? Yeah, we have B here, H, K, W. Okay, why is this first? Now, actually, this is actually the organisation name. Okay, so good reference list. Okay, ordered by surname. When we don't have a surname, ordered by organisation name. Okay, it's a good reference list actually. You've got retrieve date. It's a nice complete reference list. Space, space, space. Come on, simple things. Right, okay, but it's quite a problematic essay. The grammar is a huge problem. Yeah. So yes, you've addressed. You've got arguments. You've got arguments, and your genre is good. You've got good layout. Your reference list is good. I mean, your title is problematic, but it's problematic because of genre. And then we come down, because of grammar, and then we come down here and look at grammar, and it's something like this. I mean, the grammar is really problematic. To voting. To voting? And where is it? The main argument on against to? Very problematic. Very problematic, yeah? So good structure, decent ideas, but the grammar is really quite problematic. Okay. But good luck in your exam, Talha. Yeah, you have worked hard this term. Yeah, so please, good luck in the exam. Right, Levent. This is going to be a very, very short explanation. Dictionaries in Turkish. We don't have your name. We don't have a reference list. It's a bit insulting, to be honest. To receive a piece of work like this from a student is a little bit insulting. Okay, where did you get this information? Yeah. Is that your that's your title? That's a really poor title. Yeah. The arguments for and against compulsory voting. Simple, simple. Okay, you've not wasted a lot of time on this, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this either. Yeah. You haven't presented your ideas. We have no genre-specific organisation, and the grammar is actually not too bad. Yeah, something like that. Really, really poor essay. To get something like that from a student in week 7 is really quite insulting. Right, okay, BURCAK. Should voting be compulsory? Okay, very good title. Voting is the right that the citizens have in order to select. Okay, good. To led by. To be led by. There's no doubt. Questioning whether to make it mandatory is actually a bigger topic to discuss. Are not do not 85% of countries do not have compulsory voting. 13% do have compulsory voting, and 2% don't even have elections. Good. Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. Some small problems. It's a good title. It's a good start. BURCAK. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good signposting. Introduces the idea. Very good. Making voting mandatory will force people to search and take more attention. Take attention. Okay, take more attention. Pay. We pay attention. Pay more attention to education, newspapers, and what politicians say. According to any type of voting. Good. Okay, nice argument. Nice argument. Is it too short? Maybe one sentence too short, but some of my ideas were also a little bit short. The other argument for making compulsory is providing equal voters. It's providing equal voters. There's a better way of saying that. Is that everyone is represented equally. If everyone would participate in the elections, then there would be an equal voter profile. Okay, good. So the government would be able to consider every type of its citizens. According to Arnott, countries that do not have that do not have mandatory voting have inequality in their profile of voters. If the government won't know who to serve, doesn't know, present simple. If the government doesn't know who to serve, comma, it would lose the purpose and also it would be unfair. Okay, good, good. Some small grammatical mistakes, yeah, a good idea, well signposted. As a reader, I know what I'm going to read about. The main argument against making voting compulsory is that it is against democracy. Very good signposting, okay? It introduces the topic. It's a very, very useful first sentence of a paragraph, okay? As a reader, it really does help the reader a great deal. It is believed that voting should be a right for their citizen, but forcing is totally threatening to the democracy. Okay, to democracy. As reported by Keska, very good. Politicians should inspire, I personally believe, okay, that it won't actually be a success for the person who gets voted. It won't be a success for the person who gets voted, who wins the most votes, because people will select him not because they want to, but because they had to. Okay, all right. Do remember, yeah, in a lot of countries where voting is compulsory, you have this option. You have none of the above. Yeah? So, do I want David? Do I want Bob? Do I want Sarah? Or do I want none of the above? Yeah? So, in a lot of countries where voting is compulsory, you can go in and you can put a little tick mark against this name. Yeah? Which is showing you that I have to vote, but actually I don't want David, I don't want Bob, and I don't want Sarah. Yeah? So, I have to vote. So I'm voting for none of the above. In a lot of countries where voting is compulsory, you have that option. Yeah? The second argument against making voting compulsory is that it can actually separate people. Okay. There are several types of sanctions for people who don't vote. Okay, present simple, who don't vote. And some countries have social sanctions that may disassociate citizens, okay, such as in Italy, it is not formalised. It might be difficult for non-voters to send their child to... Really? Wow. Is that true? Italy? Okay, all right, but it's not... Okay, it's not a formalised solution. Okay, all right, okay, good idea. Yeah, good idea, well argued. A good development, no big grammar problems. Again, beautiful signposting. About mandatory voting, but in the end it is based on the government. It is based on the government? It is up to the government to decide whether to make it compulsory or not. I personally believe, okay, all right, I disagree with you. Yeah, I think voting should be compulsory, but okay, you've made a good argument. How many words? 554, very good. Okay, A, F, I, okay, super. Retrieved, when did you retrieve these? Yeah? We have the date of publication, that's good, but when did you retrieve them? Yeah? All retrieved 20th of Jan 2021. Simple, yeah? Right, very nice, BURCAK, very nice. Probably something up here, yeah? You've got good ideas, they're well organized and they're well developed, yeah? Your grammar is good, not perfect, but it's good, yeah? Some small problems, Probably something like that. It's a good pass, BURCAK, yeah? It's a good pass. Well done. And you've worked hard this term. I fully expect you to pass. Yeah, well done, BURCAK. YASIN. Come on. Really, come on, what's the problem? Right, okay. The arguments for and against making voting compulsory. Beautiful. Voting which a certain age group, voting which is done by a certain age group, by their own free will, is the right to choose their leaders through legal means. Good. Some countries want voting to be compulsory, while others want voting to not be compulsory. In South America, Australia and some African countries and Turkey having compulsory. South America, Australia, some African countries and Turkey have compulsory voting. Okay. Well, some people think that compulsory voting undermines the principles of democracy. Others argue. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, right, we've got some small grammar problems. We've got a few grammar problems, but that's a good introduction. That's a good start. The main argument for making voting compulsory is that the vote is necessary for the representation of the whole population. Very good opening sentence. Very good. Very good control of grammar. Very good signposting. Very clear idea. Well done. Some people can rule their country by people they do not want. Can rule their country or can have their country ruled. Some people can have their country ruled by people they do not want. The participation of the majority. Good. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful idea. Well done. Nicely developed. We've got some in-text citations. The grammar is very good. There's small problems here. This should be passive. Well done. The second argument for making voting compulsory, as that not being compulsory would damage the foundations of democracy. Okay, all right. Very clear idea, well signposted. It's known that the number of participants is low in non-compulsory voting in non-compulsory voting countries. So the decision taken by the elected state may not make sense. Very good. Super. It's very good. It really is. It's very good. The main argument that people present against making voting compulsory is that political freedom is restricted by being forced to vote. Very good signposting. Very clear idea. Well done. Yeah? More important things than an election. Okay, all right. Maybe you're in hospital, maybe you're dying. Okay, but an election is important. Yeah? Keska argues that politicians think that if you do not vote, it is undemocratic. On the other hand, they threaten those who do not vote with fines, although they are. Okay, all right. So Keska. Okay, so we've got one argument. On the other hand, although, so we're jumping back and forth here. So this is a positive argument. This is a negative argument. This is a positive argument. It's difficult to follow. Yeah. So he argues this. So that's one side. On the other side, so this is the opposite side. And then although, so now we're back to the original side. It's all a bit confusing. Yeah. These sentences are a bit confusing. I don't fully understand those. In conclusion, compulsory voting is a controversial issue. No one may want to enter public places and the election can be as easy as ordering. You're contradicting yourself. So no one wants to enter public places, okay. And the election can be, okay, don't fully understand. No one wants to enter public places, okay, all right. Why am I going to a public place if it's as easy as ordering a product online? Why do I need to go to a public place if an election can be as easy? It's a bit confusing. Okay, we can easily participate, we can easily run the election without any paper in the future. Okay, all right, a little bit confusing, this sentence. Okay, okay, this is the organization. Okay, so very good reference list. AFIKV. Very good reference list. It's a very good essay. It is a very good essay. You've just got a couple of problematic parts, but it is a strong essay. If we have a look, let me open this. If we have a look at the rubric, yeah, you've got some good ideas that are well developed. So it's something like this. You've got good title, you've got a good reference list, you've got good ideas. Yeah, that might even be, let's say that's an 8, yeah. And then, okay, you've tried to take some risks. It's not always been successful. Yeah, something like that, 69 or 70. Yeah, it's a good essay. On the day of the exam, if you submitted something like that, I'm confident that you would pass. Yeah, well done. Right, okay, EREN. Let's close some of these. Okay, look at this. Your computer is helping you. Making votings. Your computer is helping you. These countries, that voting. Why? Why do we have the initial when we don't need an initial? Why do we have an initial when we don't need an initial? Come on. Surname, just the surname. Why? Just the surname. Oh, come on. Simple spelling mistakes. Right, okay. Arguments for and against compulsory voting. Okay, good title. Nowadays, compulsory voting is open for debate. Plus, these debates are spread in many countries. Debates in many countries, okay. Some people say eligible people have to vote, but other ones say silence is a right. However, majority in the world shows to us that voting is not compulsory. Okay. That means you don't have to vote in these countries. On the other hand, in these countries, eligible people should vote. Huh? You don't have to vote in these countries. In other countries, eligible people should vote and it's illegal not to. This essay will discuss. Okay, all right, it's confusing. Where does this sentence, so this is all one sentence. That's one sentence. There's your problem, yeah? Break that down into smaller sentences. Break that down into smaller sentences, and then we might improve the readability of it. And then you've got a nice thesis. The main argument for making voting compulsory is that the idea of is the idea of responsibility. Why is this not capital? For instance, if everyone votes, that means candidates have to make laws for everyone's benefit. Good. So, is there a full stop here? You've got a problem. You've got a problem with capital letters. Yeah, you don't seem to use them. If these laws are aimed accurately to benefit, the population, it can ensure equal rights of everyone, and this can prevent the discrimination about political views and might lead to social cohesion. Very nice, very nice. Compulsory voting protects the rights of the marginalised, and if the people who don't vote are the poor and disenfranchised, then those are exactly the people who should vote. Okay, so then. Okay, good idea. Good idea. Yeah, well developed, well signposted. Yeah, good. Another argument for making voting compulsory is about the agreed decision of the public. Again, good signposting. You've got a good, clear idea. If the majority of society wouldn't agree, don't agree. Okay, present simple. Don't agree with the chosen candidate. This can separate the country in many sides. The majority of the population, the majority of the population's participation is what makes elections legal. Decisions made by democratically elected governments are more legitimate. Good. Okay, good. If elections, present simple, are not compulsory, this can birth a right. What? This can birth a right? This can provide a right for minoriting. What's minority? For minority? For the minority to ignore the current elected government. Okay, all right. Problematic grammar, yeah. The main argument against compulsory voting is the idea that compulsory voting is harmful to democracy. Very good, very good. Okay, some grammar problems, but very good. You've got a nice idea. It's well signposted. Forcing people to vote threatens political freedom and the basic principles of democracy. Some part of the public can think. You haven't proofread this, have you? You've just written it and sent it to me. Can think like this, all can think. Can think that all the candidates and all the politics that they have made are not good enough for me, or not an idea that I want to support. So I want to stay silent for this election. It's quite poorly worded. Some part of the public can think all the candidates they have made are not good enough. I kind of understand what you're trying to say, but it's a bit poorly worded. I would delete that and start again, yeah? Actually, this is a right that democracy should provide them because no one can force them to support an idea that they don't believe, don't believe in. Another argument against compulsory voting is the idea of voting that voting is not a national duty. In all the countries in the world, you can encounter people who don't think voting is not a national duty because they may think that, that's twice you've made this mistake, they may think that you don't have to get involved in the management of your country. They can be right about some points because democracy means you cannot force anyone to do anything. Okay, but I mean, your argument here is wrong. You know, if I want to drive my car at 100 miles an hour past a school, I can't, even though I live in a democracy. Yeah? There are things I can't do. If I want to shoot somebody, I can't, even though I live in a democracy. Okay? So just because it's a democratic country, there are still rules, there are still restrictions. You cannot force anyone to do anything. Yes, you can. You can force people to wear a seatbelt. You can force people to wear a mask. Yeah? So you're arguing things that are not true. Yeah? Voting is a so-called civic duty. I don't want to participate. Yeah? Okay, but wearing a mask is a civic duty. Putting a seatbelt on is a civic duty. Yeah? All of these things, maybe we don't want to do them, but we have to do them. Yeah? So I don't agree with your argument here. I don't think you agree with your argument. Yeah? It's not a strong argument. In conclusion, there are several arguments. In my view, voting should be compulsory. Good. Okay, good. And everyone should have additive. Additive? What is that? Additive? An additive is something you add. I add sugar to my tea, an additive. In the management, don't understand. And these managers should be chosen by the common view of the whole country. I believe that if we involve more people into the management we are living in, it makes the whole country closer. Okay, good. Right, B, C, F, W. Okay, good reference list. Yeah, it's a good essay. It really is. The grammar lets it down. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, no problem. It's a good essay. You've got some really nice ideas, and you've got some really good signposting. Even like an 8 here, yeah. And then these two areas are not the strongest. It's a bit confusing in parts. Your word choice in parts, yeah. So a 66. If you did something like that on the day, it's a bit close as to whether or not you'd pass. Yeah, there's a lot of strong stuff here, EREN. Yeah, there's a lot of strong stuff. Whoops. You've got some really clear ideas. You've got some really good organisation. It's just the grammar that's a bit more problematic, and it's problematic because you've not proofread it. Think, yeah, believe, votings. Yeah, simple things. Good luck in the final, EREN. Okay, I hope you pass. I really do. Right, MERVE. Oi, MERVE. Dictionary to English. Okay, you're lucky that I'm even going to look at this. Yeah, because this is basic stuff. Should voting be compulsory? Okay, good title. Voting is a democratic way to choose an administrator among the candidates. Good. According to a country's laws, people who are at a certain age, or everyone, people who who are at or above a certain age should go and vote for one of the candidates on election day. Voting is not an obligation, but there are some countries where voting is compulsory all around the world. Moreover, there are even some countries that do not choose their administrators by elections, so nobody votes. Okay, there are some stronger arguments to support and oppose both sides. Okay, good, yeah. No big problems. It's a nice introduction. Yeah, well done. The main argument for making voting compulsory is that the larger amount of people, the most people who voted, is that the larger the number of people who voted, the larger the number of people who voted, the better representatives of the the larger the number of the people who voted, the better represented they are. Yeah? So if a lot of poor people vote, poor people are more represented. Not just by making sure that the older people vote, by not just making sure that the older people are voting, we also need to make sure that every range of age of diverse classes voting and represents their social class. Good. Not just okay, you're repeating yourself here, yeah? You're repeating, this is the same idea. Yeah, it's the same idea. We don't need that again. Now we see this is a bit underdeveloped. The second argument for making voting compulsory is that when people vote, even if they are not volunteering, okay, even if it is voluntary, that makes an educational impact on the citizens. The more people who participate in voting, the more certain results that we get, and it means that the people have an idea about politics. Okay, good. If the gap is large, it makes people sure that they chose the right one. Okay. The third argument I want to focus on is that compulsory voting protects the rights of poor society. Okay, this idea is the same as this idea. The ideas are too similar here. Yeah? This idea and this idea, they're the same argument. It's the same idea. Protects the right of the poor. And here your idea is that we get representation of people who vote. It's the same idea. The main argument that people present against making voting compulsory is that they think forcing people to vote is a way of restricting the rights of the people. Everyone has the right whether they will be voting for a candidate or not. Everyone has the right. Everyone has to have the right. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Good grammar. They support the idea that they need to convince us to vote by inspiring us, not by using force. Okay, not by using force. Okay, not by force. Yeah, because forcing people. Okay, good. Good idea. To conclude, even though some arguments are opposing the idea, I think it must be compulsory. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Okay, why don't we have any details here? Yeah, so you've got the author, the title, the publication, the year. Why don't we have any more information here? We need a title here. Here, this is the title. This is the organization. This is the title. Yeah? Okay, good. Good. All retrieved. Good. Really? You retrieved these last year? Don't think so. Okay, good. Right. Let's have a look at what score we would give that. So your idea 1 and your idea 3 are the same. We've got some grammar problems. Generally, it's quite a strong essay, yeah? Now, because the first idea and the third idea are repeated, that's going to bring your content down to something like a 12, yeah? Your ideas are organised well. You've got a strong title. You've got a good reference list. And then something like that, yeah? So what's that? 6776, 65, okay? So it's close, yeah? It's close. All right, but well done, Merve, yeah? There's a lot to like in that essay, and I hope you're successful in the exam. Well done. Right, OGUZHAN. Importance of voting. Okay, it's the worst title I've seen today. OGUZHAN, yeah? The worst title I've seen today. It's not about voting, it's about compulsory voting. And it's arguments for and against compulsory voting. Okay, that's the worst title I've seen today. Yeah? An election is a formal decision-making process by which a population... Why? Why is it a moot point? Okay, good. All right. It's a bit short, isn't it? What's that? 3.5 sentences, 3.5 lines. It's a bit short. We don't have an in-text citation. Yeah, so it's a bit problematic. Is that it protects the rights of minority groups? Okay, good. Very good. Very well signposted. A very clear idea and a very well developed paragraph. Well done, OGUZHAN. Yeah, very good. Probably the best body paragraph I've read today. Yeah. Again, very clear signposting, very clear idea. Super, super. Is it a little bit short? No. Okay, good. Very nice, actually. I mean, we've got two paragraphs now. They're a little bit short. Very nice ideas. Very good signposting, OGUZHAN. Yeah, very good. Election costs. Okay, I disagree with this idea. Okay, I disagree with this idea. A drain on public resources. I disagree with you. Okay, good, good. Whether you have 1 million people or 10 million people, elections still cost a lot of money. So I'm not sure cost is a big problem. And honestly, you're electing the leader of your country, or you're deciding about policy, or you're deciding about the direction of your country. So no matter how much it costs, it's still good money to spend. Yeah. I don't like this. I don't like this in the conclusion. No new information in the conclusion. And where are you getting this information from? Okay, you've not cited it. That's a problem. Yeah. So it's a good essay. Your body paragraphs are really good. Your introduction and your conclusion let it down. This shouldn't be in the conclusion. Yeah, this is information that should be up in your introduction. Yeah, with an in-text citation. In my opinion, okay, a little bit more, please, about your opinion and why you think that. Beautiful, beautiful. A-N, A-R, F, K, V, beautiful. The best reference list I've seen today. Yeah. It's a strange essay, OGUZHAN, yeah? Because this and this is really not very good. Really not very good. The rest of it, mwah, is super. Yeah? This, I mean, your title is poor, really poor. Yeah? You've got new information here, which is a big no-no. You don't develop your opinion enough. This stuff is poor, but this is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Yeah? Your reference list, the best I've seen today. Yeah? This paragraph here, the best I've seen today. Yeah? It's a bit confusing, OGUZHAN, how to score this. Okay, your body paragraphs are strong, okay? So we have to remember that, yeah? So your body paragraphs are strong. You've got some really good signposting. Even your grammar is good. Okay, have something like that, okay? A 74, yeah? It's a good essay, OGUZHAN, yeah? Good essay. Most of it, okay? Let's say most of it is good, yeah? Most of it is very good. Okay, well done, OGUZHAN, yeah? Good luck in the exam. Right, BEYZA, 20 minutes left. 3 essays, 20 minutes. Easy. Let's get out of writing 3 this term, BEYZA, okay? Inshallah. What are the arguments for and against compulsory voting? Super, well done. God, I'm so thirsty. Compulsory voting is a system in which electors are obliged, No elevation. No elevation? No elevation? What is that? Okay, where? You're giving lots of information here, but there's no citation. That's the problem. Okay, it's good, but this here, you need a citation. At least one citation. Maybe this information comes from 2 different places. One disadvantage of compulsory voting is random votes. Holden says that voters who are voting against their will may check off a candidate at random and it occurs and an illegitimate outcome occurs. People who are experienced in country management and who should be selected are not chosen, therefore socio-economic problems can arise. The country cannot be managed properly. Okay. Remember, in a lot of countries where voting is compulsory, you can vote for none of the above. Okay, so do I vote for David? Do I vote for Ismail? Do I vote for Sarah? Do I vote for none of the above? Okay, so if you have to vote, you have this option. You can tick here. I don't want David, I don't want Ismail, I don't want Sarah. I will tick here, none of the above. Yeah. So in countries where voting is compulsory, a lot of the time you do have that option. Yeah. So there isn't really this argument. Another negative impact of compulsory voting is low penalty for not voting. A negative impact of compulsory voting Really? Wow. Okay, interesting. A low penalty for not voting, is that a negative impact? Is that a negative impact? The low penalty? Okay. Don't. One advantage of compulsory voting is that it protects the rights of marginalised groups. In such situations, democratic culture can never be formed in the country. Okay, all right. Okay, good idea. Yeah, good idea. Otherwise, a positive is maintaining a commitment to politics and democracy. I'm not quite sure I understand your idea. Okay, all right, yeah, fine. It keeps them engaged. Your idea is not very explicit. So, because voting is compulsory, people have to be engaged in politics. That's your idea, that's your message. It's quite poorly communicated. Maintain a commitment to politics and democracy. How? By keeping people engaged. This is quite a poor argument. I understand this idea, but then this doesn't really seem to be quite connected. Yeah, this is quite a poorly worded argument. To have a large penalty. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Super. Okay, good. It's a good essay. You've got some problems. Yeah, I don't fully understand this. But it's a good essay. Yeah. If you did that, I hope you will pass this term. No, let's look at your essay. Second and third paragraph. Yeah, these are okay. Yeah, they're not underdeveloped. You've got a clear idea, and you explain the idea. The fifth paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth paragraph is problematic. it's problematic. I don't really understand. I understand the idea, but then your explanation of the idea is not very clear to me. No, your conclusion is good. Your conclusion is good. Yeah, I like your conclusion a lot. The subject is a bit challenging. Yeah, you've got some good ideas. These 3 paragraphs are really nice. This one is a bit confusing. I don't really understand. I don't really understand your idea here. Yeah, elevation doesn't make sense. It's good. It looks a little bit long. 575. Yeah, it's exactly that. Okay, 575. It's a little bit long. Yeah. Your reference list is good. I think if you did something like this in the exam, we'd be looking at something like that. Yeah. I hope you pass. I really do hope you pass, BEYZA. Right, Senna, I have to get a drink, okay? I'm dying of thirst. I'll be right back. Right, Senna. Arguments for and against compulsory voting. Good. Right, in today's world, almost every country is democratic. Super, super, very good. And maybe a statistic would be useful. A statistic and in-text citation would be useful. Yeah, just one more sentence here. Oh, I am thirsty. Chance. A chance to. Oi. Can have a chance to have their ideas represented. Because okay, this example is not connected to this. Maybe people can't join because they have to go to work. Okay, this example does not support this argument. The working class did not participate. They didn't participate because they didn't want to, not because they had to go to work. Yeah? So that's not accurate. It's a little bit short, maybe one more sentence, but I mean, this is the problem. Yeah? This example does not support this idea. Very good signposting. Okay, again, very good signposting, very clear idea. I like it. If they must vote. And as a result of a more educated society, social classes can merge. Oh, okay, good. States that voting causes an increase in education level by willingly or not. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, it's not a quote. Okay, there, that's fine. Okay, okay, good. Yeah, we've got 3 nice ideas. Are they a bit underdeveloped? Probably a little bit. How long is your essay here? Oof, yeah, 397. That's, wow, that's really short. That's really short. Yeah. 397 words for your whole essay. Yeah. Each of these body paragraphs could have 1 more sentence. Yeah. Your essay is too short. Your word count is just your paragraphs, okay? Forget all the stuff at the top, all the stuff at the bottom. Your word count is just your paragraphs. 397, yeah? Too short, too short. Okay, good. Okay. It's a bit long, yeah? It's a bit long to quote. We can quote maybe 5 words, maybe 6 words. This is a little bit long. Each of these paragraphs, not developed enough, okay? Another sentence in each paragraph is what we need. Good. It's a good essay, yeah? It's a very nice essay. If your word count was 400 words, it would be a super essay. But your word count is 500 words, yeah? Yeah, yeah, if your word count was 350 words or 400 words, it's fine. The content, not developed enough, okay? Not developed enough, yeah? Everything else is super, yeah? 68, we just need a bit more development. Let me do this, okay? 66, okay? We need more development, yeah? Your body paragraphs are good, they're well signposted, but they're just not developed enough. And here, this example does not support this, this claim. Yeah, so be careful with that, please. But well done, SENA. Yeah, and I really hope that you pass this term. I really hope. Right, come on, last one. Wait, what's going on? 5 minutes, then my lesson. Right, for and against arguments. Arguments for and against compulsory voting. Simple. About vote compulsion. Simple. Compulsory voting. Keep it simple. Arguments for and against compulsory voting. Simple. Perfect. Easy. Right. In case we seem today's world, in today's world, democracy is prevalent. Admittedly, democracy provides people with more free conditions to live in circumstances. Some countries, Okay, I don't like this. I don't like these ideas. Yeah, this is too detailed for an introduction. In an introduction, I just want some statistics and maybe a little bit of data. Okay, I don't want a big, deep, heavy idea like this. Yeah. We've got this. This is perfect for an introduction. Yeah, this information and or this information. This is too heavy. It's too deep for an introduction. Okay, we don't need this. Most of the country's citizens seem to force Most of the country's citizens seem to force somebody to do something. Don't understand. Most of the country's citizens seem to force somebody to do something. Huh? People force other people. Don't really understand. Let me start this. Okay. If this is a quote, then we need a quote like this. Yeah. Is it the sanctions? Okay, when did they report this? I think it was 2020. And why is this in italics? This doesn't need to be in italics. Okay, good. High intensity, high participation. Exactly upon the town people. To guarantee the electors provide better conditions for homeless and gamins. What's a gamin? Okay, all right. It's a bit of a. Okay, it's a good idea, but then it's really not explained very clearly at all. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, again, we need a date. We need a date here. Okay, good. Nice signposting, nice clear idea, nicely developed. Okay, don't forget your dates. Yeah. Yes. Good. What's this Precipitably. Huh? All right, let me let all my students in. Personally, my point of view shaped because I've grown up in Turkey. Thus, we are holding the chance for extolling the democracy in our hands. Okay. All right. Simple is a bit better here. Yeah, simple is a bit better. Right. So it's a good essay. It's a good essay. If we look at your score, come on. If we look at your score, okay, so something, is it a passing essay? Is it a passing essay? It's probably close, okay? It's probably something like this, yeah? A 64, yeah? With some better articulated ideas, it would be a passing essay, yeah? All right, okay, well, good luck. Good luck in the exam. You've worked hard, and hopefully you will pass. Right. Right, okay. That's that.